Namaste and welcome friends. I'm Jayalakshmi Ravichandran from Magic Needles. This day I'm here with a textured diamond-like pattern, a knitted pattern which is titled Trellis Stitch or Trellis Stitch. The S may be silent over there. Trellis Stitch. Each one pronounces it in a different manner. So we'll call it Trellis Stitch. I have worked this Trellis stitch pattern with Hobby Store Aran Superwash 100% Superwash Merino wool. This particular stitch is worked over a multiple of 6 plus 5 stitches and it's a 12 row repeat pattern. A beautiful pattern, great for all your wearables and all projects. I have worked a few repeats. I have taken 2 edge stitches on either side and I have used my 5 mm needles. So let's begin. All the odd rows are the right side rows. So I always clip the first stitch of the hook of the needle, the second. This forms a beautiful edge. Now begin row 1 with knit 1 and purl 3. Knit 1, purl 3. It's not the stitch repeat. Row 1 begins with knitting 1 and purling 3. Now bring yarn to the front. Keeping yarn in the front, slip 3 stitches purlwise. You can either pick all 3 of them and slip them, or you can slip them one at a time and purl the next 3. Keep the yarn in front of your work, slip 3 stitches purlwise. Purl 3. One more time, keeping the yarn in front, slip 3 purlwise. I'm taking all of them together, purl the next 3. One more time, the last repeat here. I'm having the yarn in front of me. Purl the next 3. You'll be left with 1 stitch and knit that stitch. Of course, these are edge stitches. Now row 2. Begin row 2 with purl 1, knit 3. These are my edge stitches. Row 2 begins here, purl 1 and knit 3. Now stitch repeat begins here, keeping the yarn behind the needle, slip the 3 stitches purlwise, knit the next 3 stitches. With yarn behind work, slip 3, knit 3. Yarn behind work, slip 3, knit 3. Again yarn behind the work, slip the 3. I am slipping all 3 together. Doesn't make any difference whether you slip one by one or all of them together. knit the next 3. You will be left with 1 stitch and purl that stitch. Now row 3. Knit 1 and purl 3 to begin the row. Stitch repeat K3 P3 till you are left with 1 stitch at the end. Knit 3, purl 3. Continue the stitch repeat till you are left with 1 stitch and you knit that stitch. Complete row 3 and get back. Row 4. These are the edge stitches I completed. Row 4 begins with purling 1 and knitting 3. Purl 1, knit 3. This is not a stitch repeat. Stitch repeat says purl 3, knit 3. P1, P2, P3 and K1, K2, K3. Repeat purl 3, knit 3 till you are left with 1 stitch, and that stitch you simply have to purl it. So complete row 4 and get back. Completed row 4. Now row 5. This is worked in a different manner. Please pay attention. So we are going to pick up the yarn in front and yarn behind together. These horizontal loops that you can see. When we work, we will pick up this. Of course, this is my edge stitch 1, edge stitch 2. Begin row 5 by knitting the first 5 stitches. It's not a stitch repeat. Now insert the right hand needle under the horizontal loops, both the loops, and into the stitch you are going to knit this way. Working needle under these 2 loops and into the stitch and knit that stitch. After that, pick up these 2 loops and slip it over that knitted stitch. Knit 5. And again we need to pick up the horizontal loops, insert into both these loops and into the stitch, knit that stitch and pick this up and slip it over the knitted stitch. Again knit 5. Again insert right hand needle upwards under these 2 strands, the horizontal strands, and insert into the stitch you have to knit and knit that stitch. Pick up these 2 horizontal strands now with your left hand needle and slip it over this knitted stitch. Knit 5. So one last time I will show you. Insert the needle from bottom upwards under the horizontal loops and into the stitch where you need to knit. Knit that stitch. Pick up these two horizontal loops with your left hand needle and slip it over the last worked stitch. Now knit 5. So we complete row 5 by picking up the horizontal loops along with the stitch to be knitted and manipulating it. Now work the 8 stitches for row 5. Row 6 has same instructions as row 3, so work row 6 and get back. I completed row 6, which had the same instructions as row 3. Now row 7. Let me finish the edge stitches. Purl the first stitch, it's not a stitch repeat. Now keeping yarn in front of you, slip 3 stitches purlwise. Purl the next 3 stitches. Again with yarn in front of you, slip the 3 stitches, purl the next 3. Slip 3. Purl 3. So when we work this, yarn will be always in front of you. Now you are left with 4 stitches. With yarn in front, slip 3 purlwise and purl the last stitch. Now row 8, I think you would have guessed, you would have guessed. It is by working with yarn behind the work and slipping the stitches, but here we are going to stagger it. So let us first work the edge stitches, then knit 1. Now keeping yarn behind your work, slip the next 3 stitches and knit the next 3. Slip 3 next 3. This is the stitch repeat with yarn behind, slip 3 purlwise, knit 3. One more time repeat. Slip 3 purlwise. And do not pull this yarn too tight, let it be little loose when you knit the next 3 stitches. Let it not be too loose nor too tight. Don't pull the yarn. Again here too, at the end of the row you will be left with 4 stitches. And on those 4 stitches you are going to slip the first 3 with yarn behind and knit that last one. Of course, last 2 are edge stitches. So we've completed row 8 successfully. Row 7 and 8 we are forming the horizontal loops like we formed the horizontal loops in rows 2 and 1 and 2. Sorry, not 2 and 3, 1 and 2. Now, row 9 is worked with same instructions as row 4. Row 10 has same instructions as row 3. So complete rows 9 and 10 by working instructions for rows 4 and 3. one after another. Complete those two rows and get back. I have completed rows 9 and 10, which had same instructions as of 4 and 3. Now row 11. These are the edge stitches. Knit the first 2. Now it's time to pick up the horizontal loops and into the next stitch to be knitted. Knit, pick this up and pass it over the knitted stitch. Knit 5. This is the stitch repeat. Okay, now you need to pick up the horizontal loops. This is where the repeat starts, and into the next stitch to be knitted. Knit that stitch. Now pass these 2 loops over that knitted stitch and knit 5. Again. Pick up the loops again. Four and 5. You will be left with 3 stitches. Pick the last set of loops, knit that stitch. Of course, pick up and pass it over that knitted stitch and knit 2. We complete row 11 now. Row 12, you need to work the instructions as given in row 4. Complete row 12 and get back. Here we go. I have completed row 12 too. Row 12 had the same instructions as that of row 4. So this is how the trellis stitch pattern develops into. There were many varieties of trellis patterns, but this is titled as trellis stitch. If you want to Google search, you have to search as trellis stitch. Thank you friends for viewing the small effort of ours. Hope you liked it, and if you really liked it, do like our videos, share our videos, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to click on the bell icon and all notifications. Once you do that, you will get notifications as soon as we upload any video. Thank you once again. Have a great day. Bye for now.